And one thing we talk about a lot is like when Michael began using drugs, and he just explained to you, what obstacles were for him. What's different with fentanyl is that there is no economic barrier, like he just said, and your kids don't have to be with a bad crowd or in a dark alley or at a party that these drugs are available at. They can be delivered right to your home. They're so easily accessible. They're so cheap. They're in everything out there. There's nothing that you can trust anymore. And it's affecting kids all across America. It doesn't have anything to do with upbringing and I'm sure there's cases, but it's just so easily accessible that kids are getting it everywhere.
For the dime moves in the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, Lil homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you've been through, shit you had to go tend to. Your mama gave birth on the turf. I
was the founder. I created Conan Pocket in my mother's garage.
I had a lot of, lifting weights, and I was on swole. They start calling me Big Miz.
Original Stutter Box, Eastside 5, who's Pablo Bishop, Mid City Gangsta Bloods.
Kev Mac video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac video, open your soul.
This is only the beginning.
The majority of the fentanyl seized in the U.S. is coming through the San Diego sector.
And these dealers, these distributors are reaching our kids through social media. They have menus of drugs on their phone, and you could be sitting right here at this table with your child, and the distributor's sitting right there with you on their phone, delivering these drugs to your home like a pizza.
And I sold drugs, right? So when I sold drugs, when I would cut my drugs, I would cut it with a weaker agent, to make more of it. They're cutting it with a stronger agent. So it's not just a drug addict's problem. We honestly believe the children are being targeted, right? Because if you look at it, most of the people that are dying are the recreational user, is the one-time user. That's why using the word overdose is really misleading, because who's going to think they're going to overdose on a pill? Who's going to think they're going to overdose if they're only using a little bit on the weekend? If you look at it the way we're looking at it, like it's a national security risk, our children are our future. So if you look back in time, larger empires would require payment of children from smaller empires, so you couldn't build an army. They're taking out our future generation. Like, this is not a drug, it's a poison. We're being exterminated at astronomical rates. The number of 107,000 a year, they haven't even came out with the next year's number yet, the CDC. So I'm curious on why they haven't done that yet. The number is probably so astronomical. So the only thing we really could do is, because we're not going to get the border shut down. Let's keep it 100, right? Like, they're not going to do that. So what we need to do is get aware. We need to come together. We need to start spreading the awareness and the prevention, helping these kids make a better choice. Because when I did drugs, I didn't have people dying at 14. There's a recovery high school out here called Mission High School. All the children that are in that high school are in recovery. I met an 18-year-old kid that has 4 years clean. Nobody was thinking about getting clean at 18 when I was doing drugs. I also didn't have friends dying at 14. So this is only going to get worse and worse and worse. And the best thing that we could do is come together, get your information, go to your town halls, go to your PTAs, go to your schools, find out what your legislation is doing as far as fentanyl awareness and prevention. Because just standing back and thinking ignorance is bliss, this is not going to go away. But my parents didn't talk to me about sex. I still had sex. You need to have the conversation with your children about fentanyl.
You mentioned the borders, and I'm assuming you said that because it's coming over from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Where are these drugs being made? Where is it being cut at?
They're being made in China. The precursors are coming over to Mexico. The Mexican cartels are pressing these pills and other drugs, and the open border is an issue. But these drugs are coming through our legal borders too. So we're seeing semi-loads of these drugs come in. What we're seeing seized is probably about 5% of what's making it into the United States. And it's just a cost of doing business, right, to the cartels. So imagine how much sits here in the United States, enough doses to kill our population over and over again. A lot of times these seizures are diversions to get larger shipments in. And so certainly we need legislation, we need new laws, we need our federal government to act. But while all that is trying to, while we work on that, we don't have any time. So prevention is primary. We've got to reach our kids.
And, it's only costing them a penny to make these pills. We were just in Montana speaking at schools. It's going for $100 a pill. So I hear a lot out.
Down to 83 cents.
Yeah, down to 80. I hear a lot of people saying, well, why would they want to kill their clientele? Well, just look at Amazon. Amazon takes millions of dollars in losses a year, but they don't go bankrupt because their profit margin is so high. The profit margin is so high, and it's not like heroin. It's not like any other drug. As soon as you get it, you're addicted to it. And it's not like heroin where, the withdrawal might not come right away. As soon as this wears off, within 3-4 hours, you're going through withdrawal. It's not, you can't compare it to anything we ever been through. Like, we are actually at war within our own borders. So, President Biden loves sending money to other countries. The grass is greener where you water it at. Start putting the money into the community, start getting better law enforcement, start putting money into schools, education, because what we're doing, we need more people. And that's why we're here, and I appreciate Kev Mac for this opportunity, because we need you guys on board with this. We have our National Day, which is August 21st, our National Fentanyl Prevention and Awareness Day. You can go to our website, facingfentanylnow.org, and become a supporter. But all the information that you need is on that website. So if you're not familiar with what's going on, or you don't know about fentanyl, go to the website, learn about it. Please have that uncomfortable conversation with your child, because you don't want to have the feeling of not having the conversation with your child, and your child go out and do something and have to deal with the regret and maybe putting that on you because you didn't be able to help them in that moment.
Do you guys know if there's any charges for a person, say, driving down the street and get caught with 10 or 20 pills?
It's different in every state. Recently in my state, in Colorado, we had what we called the 4-gram law. So we had 2 years of time where 4 grams of fentanyl was only punishable by a misdemeanor. Well, 4 grams of fentanyl can kill a lot of people.
20,000 people.
And so you need to be very careful when you're looking at changing these laws. You need to think long term. Fentanyl's horrible. It's the worst drug we've ever seen. But look what's coming. We have xylazine being added to fentanyl now. Skin coming off, lesions. What's next? It's just going to get worse and worse.
Excuse my ignorance. What is xylazine?
Xylazine is a horse tranquilizer. And what we were seeing in the United States was people that had this high tolerance for fentanyl adding xylazine to it to make this even more potent. Now the DEA's put an alert out in the last couple of weeks telling us that the cartels are adding xylazine to their fentanyl. And so that means it's coming in mass, right? So instead of these confined areas, it will hit the entire United States. And I believe it's already hit 48 states as of 2 weeks ago. Even more deadly, no antidote for this, so naloxone isn't going to help you if you're in an overdose situation from tranq dope, is what they call it, fentanyl, xylazine. What's next?
The amount of fentanyl seized so far is enough to kill over 30 million people.